And we are live. We are live here on TikTok. No sound detected. Check my audio. There we go. Checking the audio. Mic check 1, 2. Advanced audio. Make sure we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for being able to tune in with us. We are just trying to be able to make sure that we have everything for you. Yesterday, I detected that I was up for the entire time, but I had no audio, right? I had to call my guys, find out exactly what was what. And they told me that I had to kind of hook this up. And so I did so, and this is just me just double checking to make sure everything is good. So I get myself prepared to make sure that we are in a space that we could jam properly. You understand what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, but just being able to make sure that we're in a good space and we could be able to make sure everything's good. Let me see, test the audio now. Testing the audio. Okay. Mic check 1, 2. We should be good. If we are good, guys, make sure you check us out. We are in the position that we're jamming with you, so just make sure that you check us out, and you can be able to see where we are out here. All right. Tune me in, guys. Foundation 242. The Foundation 242. I'm trying to be able to put this thing up for you. Foundation 242, we are here and we are live. Make sure that you can check us out. I don't have any audio on the other one, so let's just make sure that everything is good in that area. You guys should be able to check me out on that. Let's do the intro. Before we do the intro, let's make sure that we're in a good space and position. I want to hook it up so everyone can be able to hear and see at the same time. And we could be good. If you're out there and you're checking us out, we are live. So live, you can hear us live, right? Oh, you ain't supposed to be able to hear me when the logo is up. You're not supposed to be able to hear me when the logo is up. I don't know why. You can't. Let's check it out. All right, guys, if you hear me on YouTube, you should not. You wasn't supposed to be hearing me on YouTube. So that's another configuration I'm going to have to be able to fix. Let me do the intro for you guys, and then we're going to be good. All right, I can see you. We should be good. Everyone could be able to hear us now. We see a couple persons are coming in on the YouTube. You can hear me. Praise God. All right, let's check this out. Let me send this out to some person so they can be able to see it. And we are good to go.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table. where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We should be up and rolling, jamming with you on this beautiful day, jamming with you throughout the nation or wherever you're listening to us from. This is the foundation. I want to thank you so much for being able to tune in. My name is Howard Grant, and we are jamming with you as we continue to be able to talk about where we are and essentially where we should be from a national perspective, really being able to identify those things. I'm grateful that you're here with us, grateful that you're jamming with us and being able to identify, I guess, what needs to be done. It ain't no easy thing. And a lot of persons are indifferent about how we approach it, on whether or not we should say anything about these particular things, right? I tell you, I get a call from a near and dear person. They says maybe you should leave certain people alone right now. For what? Why? I don't know. For what? I don't understand. You understand? Listen, we have traveled a great deal in this country, far and wide, through repression and segregation and subjection to people who didn't understand the authority that they wielded. Let's just be clear about this. A lot of people out here did not understand the authority that they wielded, or I would say but I know that ain't the right word. The authority that they wielded. Let's be very clear about this. These people out here doing anything, right? And we supposed to be afraid of them? Come on, man, these demons in a skin suit. These people are demons, indecent on every aspect. And every time that you see a demon, I suffer a witch not to live. I just want to be clear with you. And that living don't necessarily have to be, or that doesn't necessarily mean that we're talking about a particular perspective. We're not talking about being able to snuff these people breath from them. That's not what the conversation is. The conversation is we're not to do as to others as they've done unto us, because if that's the case, we'd be killing people all day. Because that's what the intent is. That's what the indifference exists with. That's what these people into. They want to take you out. They don't want you or your children to have nothing. Can I say this to you? Nothing. There are too many stories about men and women who had to leave this country to find means of survival because some politician didn't like this, that, or the next thing, because some politician asked the wrong person for a little. Come on, talk to me. Let's be very clear about this. When are we as a people going to stop folding when these fellas show up? Let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. When will we stop folding when the fellas show up? Talk to me. I just want to be clear about it. I just want to ask. When will we continue to be able to stand and show our vertebrae, our backbone, and show that we have strength? Listen to me. Let me tell you something. I only 44. I ain't old like that. Not like that. I ain't old like that. Only 44. And with my age, there comes a couple of things with my age.
I'm getting to see some things differently, man. I'm getting to see some things differently. And then I start questioning other men that have found themselves at 60 years old, found themselves at 70 years old, and even older. I never had an epiphany, never had a moment, never had a clear understanding, never had a call in their life. They just in this kind of a position. They never knew. And they sit in this particular capacity, they just chill. Let's talk, man. Talk to me about it. Talk to me about it. These fellas sit in this capacity and they just chill. I've become an old man. Almost. And I realize some things are happening in this country. Why are we so afraid of these people who are politicians? These people who wield power and they perceive power. Why are we afraid of these guys? They got your whole household scared. The power that you give them, they use against you, and you say, hold on, now, just leave that one alone. When are we going to take our country back? When? The people who don't even have power no more, you scared of them. Oh, watch out now, because they could get power again. All right, then. Okay. It's an exhausting experience, guys. Exhausting. You're afraid to you walking over eggshells. You tip and toe in this country to be able to appease to these particular people and always find yourself in a position where you don't piss anybody off. This is crazy to me. This is crazy, man, and I want to talk to you about it. We got to wake up, man. Our politicians, most of these politicians don't necessarily have the insight of how to be able to get some things done. I just want to be decent with you. I don't want to freak out or do it. I just want to be decent with you. I only want to be decent. As I look at this, I'm very disappointed in a great deal of things. I'm disappointed in the will of our people. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of? I'm afraid to die. You can die anyhow. I'm afraid to die right now. You ain't know where you can go. I'm afraid that they can take something from me. You ain't never had nothing. You know just how nothing feels. And the fleeting feeling and the emotion of when you claim something, you know that there's nothing coming back again. Because that's a familiar feeling. You never had nothing. And people who will do whatever it takes. See, I had a call this morning. And, good decent people just called me, right? I had a call this morning. And in the call, they said to me, Howard, I can't believe this person or that person did, they would use such a nasty campaign. That's what they say. You see this campaign, you see that campaign, I wouldn't believe that these persons would use such a nasty campaign to do some stuff. Hold on, guys, somebody coming in. I'm at my studios, guys. Somebody coming in. Come in. Come in, sir. Yes, sir. No, you're at the wrong spot. I think you got to go out front. You got to go out front for her. Yeah, in the front of the building. Yeah, forgive me, guys. Right? So I got a call this morning, and the call indicated that, forgive me, yeah, this is, you could just walk right in. My studio, I got a place like this. I got a place set up like this, right? So everybody could be able to, I could see what's going on outside, and they could be able to kind of walk right inside. So it's a cool thing, right? I want to be clear with you as I say this, and I identify these things. Got a call this morning and started to talk to me about some people who are deliberately and specifically using these quote-unquote gutter persons for their campaign. Now listen, I can't fight you. I can't tell you who to use. I can't tell you what to use. I can't tell you any of these particular things. That ain't my business. I can't say that to you. I can't say you when to use it, and I just can't say it. I can tell you that If this is what you see yourself doing, if this is what you see of yourself, then do what you have to do. Okay? There are credible people who have developed themselves for a very long time, and they did everything that they can do to be able to be polished in the media stands. And they've done that. And, if you decide to go contrary and don't use them and use somebody else, then you do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. But I can say this. So they told me to say, I cannot believe that the Free National Movement is using this particular person to be able to, and that's what the call said. I cannot believe that the Free National Movement is using this particular person to go to interviews. I cannot believe that the Deputy Prime Minister, potentially the Deputy Prime Minister and the Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement is using this particular person to get interviews. I don't know whether or not this call came to me just because they know that I'm in this space. I don't know. And I wasn't trying to egg it on and try to figure this thing out, right? I don't know if the call came to me simply because I know your affiliation, I know these particular things. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. I'm not going to fight it, right? It came to me. And I want to discuss it because I saw it and I had some questions also. These are questionable stuff, right? And then they said, I cannot believe that the former Minister of National Security and potentially the next Minister of National Security would affiliate himself with this particular, whoever this person is, right? And I say, oh, I don't know. What you want me to say? What you want me to say about people and what they decide? That I don't know. I cannot believe that these people did this. I don't know. I cannot believe, Howard. You see this? I see it. But that's what y'all made politics. Y'all think politics, my wife has a saying I never heard before in my life until she tell me how auntie them say it, right? How people that say that they is Christian and then they do anything, right? It's Christian, they drinking, they Christian, they having sex, they Christian, they lying, they Christian, they thieving. Hey, God is forgive. God knows the heart. And my wife said something to me one day. She said, my auntie is saying, you all think heaven is a hog benny? I laugh. I never heard it. I laugh. And people could do whatever they want to do because standards have dropped significantly. That people could do whatever they think that they need to do and whatever the hell they want to do because there exists no standards to be able to have an expectation that you move in a particular direction. Anybody could do this. Anybody could do this. You got these people cussing and caressing all over the people internet, all over Mark Zuckerberg and these particular things, all over the internet. Cussing and then peppering in there an idea of what should happen. I can't hear you after you didn't cuss. I can't hear you after you didn't cuss. You cussing and carrying on about, I can't hear what you're saying. You want me to listen to what you have to say? I think you should say it with clarity. I think you should say it with the kind of a posture that makes me to be able to receive what you're saying. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's going to be a difficult thing. It's difficult. It's difficult. And the Free National Movement and the Progressive Liberal Party, other persons, have identified characters that are questionable socially. Now, if the underbelly of your organization has decided to be able to take on a particular approach to be able to attract people who like this kind of a salacious, juicy something, and you won't be able to pepper your campaign in that, you don't have to necessarily put your face to that. Come on, man, I'm trying to get somewhere with you. You don't have to put your face directly with these particular things. You could easily be able to throw a couple dollars behind it and say, all right, make sure you do this and do that, do the next thing. And then, allow persons to be able to do what they have to do, but don't never put your face there. There are some people who are of questionable character who will say, I support whoever. I support Jane Doe for politician. Trust me. I know this girl and trust me, she is the best. One time whatever the hell you want to say, whatever. you could be able to make it personal. These persons could take it, be able to from a personal relationship, and they could be able to provide that to whoever their audience is, But it doesn't take the politician sitting on this particular platform, which is already a questionable platform, which when you ain't here, all kind of things just go down. But today, you won't come here. What you into, man? What you into? Why you trying to be able to make our politics a hog pen, a pigsty? Why are you trying to be able to degrade us in such a manner? Why don't you see value in yourself as a politician? Why don't you know that we're holding you and there's an expectation to hold you to a higher standard? Why don't you understand that the honorability in the House of Assembly doesn't start when you put on your little scissors tail suit, your pinstripe scissors tail suit? That honorable posture starts now. Why? Why do you believe that it takes later for you to be able to make a determination of how decent you approach politics right now? Why? Why does it take so long for you to understand that there is an expectation for you to be able to hold a higher standard? Listen, I'm not one of these people who can beat you up because of your past. I'm not one of these people who can beat you up because of what you would have done before. I'm not one of these people. I promise you I'm not one of these people. But what I believe, and to use specific and strategic words that has been entered into the political fray most recently, what I believe is dumb. What I believe is dumb is the idea that you levy condemnation against people for doing what you identify as dumb, but you forget you do the same thing. You do the same thing. You forget you was in the same category, the same kettle of fish. You forget that you was right here as a dummy. That the nation, when you were at the peak of your political game, the nation identified you as a dummy. Now, you feel as though you've been washed. The crimson on you has been washed white as snow. From a political standpoint. And you could be able to stand from the mount and say, this is a dummy. We got to be careful, man. We got to be careful of our affiliations. We got to be careful of our pronunciations. We got to be able to have a right heart to do this political thing. Because one thing about a lie and liars, this thing can return, baby. It's coming back to you. You hear me? It's coming back. It is coming back. It's not going to far. It's going to drift afar off. It's coming back to you, and you're going to have to be held to account. It's just what it is, man. It's what it is. You know, you don't want to hear it, but it's what it is. You're going to be held to account. You're going to be held to account. The call says to me, Howard, I cannot believe that the Free National Movement has done such and such a thing to bring on these particular people. You see this, Howard, I can't believe it. I tell you, I don't know whether or not this is simply because they know where I am and what I do in these particular spaces. Or, you know how some people is just bring that kind of a proverbial dog to you, like that kind of a bone, right? They bring the proverbial bone to you and they carry something back. I don't know. I don't think that's what that was. But I'm saying to you, there's a bunch of people out there that are come and whisper a thing to you. They'll come and whisper a thing to you. They'll say to you, boy, you hear what this one say about you? Boom, 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 boom. People called me the other day. Oh, how would you hear what Naughty saying about you? How do I care what Naughty says about me? Why would I even care about what Naughty says about me? Why? Why would I waste my time to be concerned about what another man thinks about me? I'm not looking for a boyfriend. Not in a bad way. I'm just being very clear with you. Why would I sit down and be concerned as to whether or not my hair is brushed properly, if I'm at the appropriate weight for another man to consider me? Man, I don't like I come from 8 Moroccan. I don't be into this guy. I don't look you up. I just, if I could tell you how my community would tell you, you wouldn't like it. I just want to be decent with you. And that's the God in me, trying to be decent. You know, the God in you ain't got to try. Huh? But I trying to be decent. Because too much of this is unnecessary, nonsensical foolishness that people are looking for content to fill the time slots. I don't have time for that. I seriously trying to be able to figure out what is the vision for the country moving forward, whether or not the PLP is going to win the next election. If the PLP does win the next election, what the expectations could be for the country. If the FNM wins the general election, what their concepts and ideas would be for growth and development for the country. Have they put out these particular things? Why are they affiliating with these particular characters? Is there an expectation that we could see these characters move towards government and strategic positions in the event that the FNM wins? Has the FNM shown themselves to be a loyal set? They've made commitments to people, and then simultaneously as they made those commitments to people, they pulled back. There's so much real issues for us to deal with as it relates to the character that exists in this political realm. The character. Whether or not these people have the character to sustain and to help grow and develop our country in the direction it should go. Whether or not they are capable of doing these things. These are real questions that I have. I want to know. I want to know. I don't want to know about no man calling my name, sir. I don't like man. I ain't looking for no boyfriend. And I ain't got to row with nobody. I never had to listen. You don't see me come on here and making noise, but nobody. You see me talk about Hubert Ingram? I have an indifference with his style, his approach, his relentless finagling, his relentless intrusion into a process that has already been able to provide him a Rolex watch and bid him adieu, of au revoir, farewell. He continues to be able to walk around the backside and find himself in strategic positions, not allowing the younger persons the opportunity to use the brain cells that they claim that they have developed over the years, and now it's time to use it. They can't even use it. You can't even blame them for decisions that was made, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, because there is relentless intrusion. This is intrusion. This is political breaking and entry. But no one says anything. This is a cat burglar. But no one says anything. Because they're content with it. As a 50-year-old, you still need your mother and father to hold on to your passport, hold on to your voter's card, tell you how to vote. And come on, man. Come on, man. You are an adult. The FNM is a matured organization that continues to be able to talk to us about the depth of their backbench, the depth of their tent, the width of their door, how people could come and go, and all these particular things. And it doesn't show the same thing. It is peculiar to me that everybody and their mother seeks to be able to climb out of the woodworks to identify and berate the former Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, because of his decision to be able to step in an independent space. Why? You can't beat him? You're scared? Why are you bothering with him? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. And everybody rowing for Michael. Everybody coming out the woodworks to row for Michael. Let Michael jump on the microphone and say the last time that she would have done that, I believe he's going to vote for me, is what she said. Yes, I believe he would vote for me. He said he's an FNM. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's Michael's fight. You all need to worry about some other things than that. The FNM going into the next election still ain't got everything together. And I said last night on the Rundown, if you had an opportunity to be able to watch, we had a great show with Garth and I, and on the Rundown I said the Free National Movement, it appears to me that the Free National Movement is not preparing for a general election. It appears to me that the Free National Movement is seeking to be able to prepare themselves for what is perceived to be, from an internal standpoint, what we've identified in prior times to be a convention. Hello? This preparation and how they're moving forward, it doesn't seem to be what we know and what we're familiar with in a general election state. This is convention. You identify people on your ticket. You want these people to lead the organization. You put them together, and then you put all your support behind these strategic persons. That's convention. Okay? Convention. You identify. All of us as FNMs. All of us are one political ticket, but this internal fight requires us to be able to reshape, remold, and revive the organization. So we need this person, this person, this person, this person, and we put all our resources behind them. We make the telephone calls, we identify those things, we pull all our people out to be able to talk for these strategic people because we need them in leadership. That's what I see in the FNM. Call me and tell me, how are you talking mess? Call me and tell me. 827-0111. Call me and tell me if that's what you believe. If that's what you believe, call me and tell me how you talking mess. It's my boy calling me every day. He said, Howard, you're a big time BLP. All Bahamian know that. Peter, you need to stop it, okay? You need to stop it. You want to know. Right? It's a text that's coming through. They scared Howard. Don't expect nothing better from Marvin. This is the text coming through. It's a text coming through. Howard, don't expect nothing better from Marvin. They look like they're scared. This is a text that's coming through. Right? I saw information indicating this was fake news. They got the young fellas on these voting cards. Guys, I just got ready. You see this with circling around. I just applied to vote today. So I just got my transfer. I moved from one constituency to another. And my wife and I did it this morning, right? Let me zoom this in. Let me see if y'all can see this. Let me see. This is what's being sent around now. Hold on, let me see if I can see. Let me see. Zoom. There's it. See that? That's what's being sent around now to talk about these particular things. Right? I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the intent is. I don't know what they're doing and all this stuff that we just talk about it. All right. Call me, guys. 827-0111 if you want to be able to be a part of the conversation. 827-0111. 827-0111. You can text me. You can call me. You can be able to hear the telephone call live here. And we can be able to engage and have a very clear conversation. The Free National Movement, to me, doesn't appear that they're preparing for this massive victory that I'm understanding that higher levels and imperial levels of the Free National Movement believes that they're going to be able to get this kind of a big slate. I don't see this. I don't see this. Now, these fellas got more political wisdom in their pinky than I have in my whole being. And they've seen some things, know some things, and they're a part of how things work in this country. However, I just don't see some stuff. I don't see some stuff. I don't see how these particular things will work out. Guys, I can see you be able to pop up on there. I want to thank you so much for being able to join us. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant. Thank you so very kindly for being able to join us today. But listen, let's be very clear about this. I just want to say that I don't believe that the Free National Movement is preparing for a general election. They're not moving as with that kind of an in-sync unity that we would expect from a team that is moving towards victory. Yeah, they're not moving with that in sync victory. They're not moving with that what the swimmer's name would have that kind of that synchronicity, right? They're not moving with that synchronicity on one voice, on one plane, on one path towards the victory that they entail. They're not moving with that. the Free National Movement's in this particular capacity, position, and posture that they're saying, hey, listen, maybe we don't win this one. This is what I see, man. This ain't what they saying. This is what I see. They look like maybe we don't win this one. But Marvin got to win. But Michael got to win. But Michael got to win. Pintard. But Boodle got to win. There's strategic emphasis placed on these particular persons who can emerge to be the new F&M. Y'all don't want to talk like this. Jesus, y'all don't want to talk like this. There are strategic emphasis identified behind strategic people that can emerge, may emerge to be the new F&M. Hello, somebody. They may emerge and become and be identified as the new F&M. And so there is strength, there is resources, there is support that's backing these particular individuals. And there's some fellas who ain't get no call yet, who ain't get no recognition yet. I'm just being straight with you. I'm being straight with you. Listen, man, I don't have no skin in the game. I don't have no horse in the race. There's some people who've been calling me, Howard, why you ain't saying this for me? Howard, why you ain't saying that for me? Excuse me? And you want to pay people $250 to say something for you? Hello? Excuse me? And y'all just do that? And y'all have your own people who y'all is set up to do these particular things. What are you calling me for? What you calling me for? Let me sit in neutrality and do what I have to do. I ain't a part of your situation. I ain't a part of your layout, man. Oh, Howard, I can't believe you say that. Yes, I said that. I said it. I don't believe you can win. Yeah, but what? Bro, listen, cousin. I don't believe you can win. What, you going to fight me for that? If you win, then rub it in my face and tell me about my ma. All right, but I don't believe you can win. I don't believe you have the tenacity. I don't believe that you will be able to cast the vision. I don't believe that you have the strength. I don't believe that you have the know-how on the ground to be able to run your campaign properly. I don't believe you can win. I believe your enthusiasm as a novice is coming in there and you think you know how campaigns go. And so you now coming in here and telling people how to run this particular thing. And these people understand for years and years how things run. And you want to do something different. Bala, I don't believe you can win. You don't even understand the grace of being able to see the technological advancements and pair it gently with what needs to happen from a traditional standpoint. I don't believe you can win. I don't believe you can win. Now, if you want to be able to levy everything on leadership, you even have a bigger problem in the F&M. If you believe that people, because there are relentless conversations that actually happen that says people vote for leadership. They vote out leadership. They vote in leadership. Hubert Ingram was voted in based upon his leadership. Perry Christie was voted out based upon his leadership. Minnis was voted out based upon Perry Christie's leadership. Minnis was voted out as a result of his leadership. Brave Davis was voted in as a result of Hubert Minnis's leadership. Now, it's time to be able to gauge how you're going to be able to deal with Brave. By now, we would have heard y'all saying, oh, the PLP got to go. Oh, I don't want nothing to do with these. But by now, we would have heard these things. We haven't heard it. I haven't heard it. Now, I can't say that means you're getting PLP all the way. But I haven't heard this resounding sentiment that says we're going in a particular direction. There's some people who I believe has a fighting chance. Do you want to hear that fighting chance? Do you want to hear those numbers who I believe for the Free National Movement who is going to be successful? I believe these people will be successful. And not by default, right? Well, I'm going to give you some default people. Okay? Let's do that. He says, every day that man is text you and say you was a PLP, he bought it, I don't know. Say, how would you see Mia cut their backside last night? I did see that. What do you think that says for our elections so far? Most of the other countries have kept their government. Our country is finicky. Our country is indifferent. Our country is the closest to the United States of America. Our country has, throughout the Caribbean, been identified as Little America. When I lived in Cuba, anytime you showed up, all the women gravitated towards the Bahamian men, ugly or indifferent. They used to ask us, Bahamense, right? So the entire Caribbean understands who we are and our proximity to the United States of America. More specifically, Haiti understands that, you aim for the stars and then you land up on the moon, right? We have been the proverbial moon for a very long time for a great deal of persons who have been unable to reach America, but they settled in nicely here, found their niche, they found their community, they found their grouping, and they are being able to thrive in these particular spaces. We have been viewed as a nation with close proximity to the United States of America, and as a result of that, our views are a little different. And our desire, our insatiable desire for stuff, for things, like Rodney Monker would say, is richer than a great deal of the other. Now, all of us are Negroes, and we want some things. Talk to me. Amen. Yeah, we like things, right? All of us we desire to acquire a thing. Yeah, we want the nice car, we want the nice clothes, we want the nice shoes, we want the nice house, we want nice things. That's just who we are. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is an insatiable desire, and that's coupled with the need for instant gratification in this country. And that's as a result of the fever that we've gotten from America. This cold that we just can't get rid of from America. Every time America sneezes, we in this country catch the cold. America has not stopped sneezing commercialism for the past 40, 50 years. And we have not been able to catch ourselves. We live in a proverbial pneumonia state because of America. And as a result of that, we're finding ourselves in this position, wanting more and more and more. And we look into everything. People look into tarot cards. People look into palm reading. People look into horoscopes. People look into astrology and all these particular things. How we find our way to a brighter future. People looking at stones. They're doing all sorts of stuff to find their way to a brighter future. And this is because their impatience for acquisition is rich as a result of being bombarded by what they see on the TV screens every day. You keep seeing more stuff, things. And so the more things you see, the more stuff you see, the more desire you have to acquire these particular things. You can't gauge the entire Caribbean by the standards of what has existed in this country. You can't. You can't. We're not better than any of our brothers and sisters and counterparts in the Caribbean, but we're under duress as a result of our proximity to the United States of America. We don't even know as a nation whether or not we're making the right decision for us based upon America saying that's not a good decision for us. So now we have to re-question and kind of recalibrate whether or not we are making sure that we take care of America whilst we take care of us. Okay, maybe we don't need this. Maybe we don't need some things. If America says we don't need it, maybe we don't need it. This is where we are. You can't gauge the Caribbean and what's happening around the Caribbean by the standards of what we would have done and what we do in this country. Our country has an appetite. See, me, I've been 3 times. right? 2 or 3 times. I think she went 3 times. Prime Minister Holdings, he went 3 times. And we are our 3rd Prime Minister since then. You can't gauge what's happening around the Caribbean by the nature of our expectations in this country. PLP is telling you they want money. You hear me? PLP is telling you we need some money, buddy. You hear me? PLPs are discontent, indifferent, unsure about how things are happening and how things should happen. Some of them can get up and go and vote despite, but it doesn't change the fact that they're showing you that there is an indifference that exists in these particular spaces. You can't measure what's happening with Mia Mottley, who has been relentlessly progressive in her posture, who has been steadfast in her position, whose tone has become, very monotone and settled. Her voice doesn't shake. She's determined. She's insightful. She's a visionary. She's articulate. She's capable of being able to, with her words and the frequency and the cadence in her voice, to be able to cast a vision to make you see something that you didn't even know could exist. She's good. She's good. And this doesn't come overnight. It comes from years of trial and tribulation and a relentless focus that says that I'm going to get there. She is good. She is good. And this is where we are now. This is where we are in this country right now. I couldn't tell you, based upon Mia Mottley's victory, Andrew Holdings' victory, the defeat of Gonzalez down in St. Kitts and the Grenadines, right? I can't tell you about the shifting politics around the region, how we in our country will react. I can't tell you. I can tell you that our Bahamian people have become, our appetites have increased. You ever see when you're feeding your baby, for all of those who have baby, when you're feeding your baby, and they used to take one bottle, then they need one more, they need more. Then you had to add a little cereal to make it a little thicker. Then you had to do more and more. You kept doing more because the appetite increases. As the baby gets a little older, the appetite increases. When you're feeding the baby X amount of food that you could be able to chew, the baby want more and more, the appetite increases. Our appetites have steadily increased in this country. And we are willing to go with whoever the zookeeper is. Let's be very clear. Oh God. Whoever the zookeeper is that would throw the zebra leg over the gate to feed the bears, the lions, the tigers. Oh my. Whoever that zookeeper is, from a political standpoint, the proverbial zookeeper that continues to be able to throw whatever we desire at us, we get with that person. Yeah, because that's how we act. We acting like animals. There's not a cool, calm, collected approach to being able to identify the backgrounds of these persons to make a determination as to whether or not they're the right persons for the job. There's not a rejection. If the PLP send you someone and the FNM send you someone and both of these persons of reprobate backgrounds and mindsets and they've never contributed to the community, you don't have the sense enough to be able to identify a candidate that you believe could be good in the House of Assembly. You've been brainwashed to believe that these candidates and the political organization that wields power can be able to change things in your community because of affiliation. You have been conditioned that your affiliation with the lodges, with your Elks and your Masons and your Prince Halls, and all these particular fraternities and organizations have already conditioned you to make you to understand that fraternity, that linkage, that bondage in these particular areas, that this unity is what you need going forward. So you apply that principle that you've learned to the principle that exists in our communities. It's a different kettle of fish. It's an entirely different thing. But you, because you've been conditioned, only see these fellas can't do nothing for me because they're in a part of a bigger team. That don't even make no sense. This independent candidate right here, even though he can agitate well, he is or she knows everything about the community. They've been here working. They're in a part of one of the big two. And so because they're not a part of one of the big two, I can't vote for them. You have been conditioned to believe that these fellas can only do something for us if they're attached to someone else. So you reject that. And then you look for the lesser of two demons, the lesser of two evils. Yeah, you look at the F&M camera, oh my God, this one is a pedophile? Oh, Jesus. But this one is he just beat his wife. Well, that ain't bad as a pedophile. Jesus, you can't touch the children. You can't touch the children. I might as well go with the one who's beat his wife. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is how you make a determination. You look for the lesser of two evils. The entire campaign is about the evil what men do. The entire campaign for the next few months, however long that will be after February 16, the entire campaign will be about the evil that men do. Who sweethearting, who like man, who is a sissy, who does beat who thief what, why they ain't show up. That's what the entire campaign is going to be. We'll never hear vision. Not on this in social media. We'll never hear vision. We'll never hear these things. And then when they come on my show or anybody else's show and they try to be able to cast these visions, the host only can be able to ask them, hey, but what about these speculations socially that you were a bad guy? What about these speculations to say that you did this and that? Now, can't even get to your vision because now you got to get in defensive mode and say to us, this is what this, no, Howard, I ain't never beat my wife. What happened is that we was rowing. She didn't see the ball behind her. And when she tripped backwards, her leg break. I tried to grab her, but her hand had oil on it and she slipped down and she rolled down the stairs the same time. I run after her. I did run after her, but it was like, about 50 steps. I couldn't catch her. I had to let her go. So you push your wife down the stairs? No. You see, the whole interview now turn from these particular things. Did your wife ever press charges? She never really pressed charges, Never pressed charges, The whole interview changed. Can't get the vision, can't get the concept, can't get to ideas, can't get to these particular things, can't get to nothing. Deflection. And then they hope their candidate ain't as bad as yours. So their candidate is a thief. I understand that you stole something from the church. No, what happened is that it ended up in my car accidentally. It fell in my purse. And as I was walking to the car, I didn't even realize the entire collection plate was in my purse. I'm so silly. Sometimes it was one of those big purses. Like, the purse that you carry when you go to the movies and you have your food in that. It was just all this stupidness. I got to go through all of this, swimming through all of this before I could even hear about the vision for a constituency. And that's on a micro level and that's on a macro level. From a micro standpoint, that's in the constituency, from candidate to candidate, I got to go through all of this hog mess before you could tell me about Pride Estates, before you could tell me about Elizabeth Gardens, before you could tell me about Linden Pillen Estates, before you could tell me about 8 Mile, before you could tell me about Lobo, before you could tell me about Green Taylor Key. I got to go through all of this hog mess before I understand your vision for the community. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And I care not to sit here and have this relentless conversation with you about these particular things. It's an exhausting experience. Now we got to be able to choose. Do I want a pedophile, a wife beater, or a rapist in the House of Assembly? Because that's the only thing that was coming to the forefront. That's the absolute only thing that these people have put to the forefront about you and your community. That's it. And you go on every interview and your posture. And then some candidates, you're going to ask them if they are homosexuals. Well, this one looks like he's a sissy. He looks gay. Sir, why are you gay? The whole interview shift. Because these people are looking for gotcha moments. They're looking for viral moments. They're looking for all these particular things at your expense. And we still don't know your vision for the constituency. We don't know. Politics in this day and age has become low. Low, man. I can't even see these guys who got good ideas and vision and sitting behind something and really being able to cast that vision. I don't even see them no more. I don't even see them no more. They don't even come. They are afraid to debate. Y'all just, it seemed like y'all dumber. It seemed like you're just dumb. It seemed like political organizations are seeking out dummies because of their fear of being able to have to compete and really show their capability. It seemed like you're going after a bunch of dummies. How is it that men and women are unable to do whatever in the constituency simply because their political organization hasn't done anything? Let's be very clear about this, man. How is it that political organizations in this country do nothing? Constituents in this country and candidates and representatives in the various constituencies do nothing unless the candidates committee or the central government say, okay, we can do this. I'm baffled by that. 8 Maroc need a great deal of things. You think I can sit down and wait and tell my party, whoever my party is, tell me how this should do in 8 Maroc? Are you stupid? How I can get vote back in? You think I can wait for them and I got $150,000 a year? I think I wait for them? No, buddy. You're going to have to do, well, Howard, we gave you this particular position on the board here, and we're going to be able to do this and this and that. We're going to take these things from you unless you, because the whip is on, Howard. All right, then we'll crack the whip, buddy. But I got to do what I got to do in 8 Maroc. Crack the whip, buddy. And I got to do what I got to do. And I'll send you an invitation and say, I'd like you to be able to show up. But if you don't show up, you don't show up. Who cares? Nobody care? Nobody care. Howard doesn't have any affiliation with the organization. They won't do anything for him because, he's like a lone gun. He goes out there and does, he says, yeah, hell yeah. And guess what? I can vote. I can win the next time. I can win the next time. Oh, let's not give him a nomination. All right, then don't give me a nomination. I then prove to these people what I could do. I then bring my independent people down. I then show them I already then had affiliation. I then bring all the people down who's doing. Listen to me. More pitches. I bringing these people down to 8 Maroc. I bringing these people down to West Grand Bahama. We giving them a vacation. I got them up in Old Bahama Bay. I got them I bringing their family down. I doing all these things to forge relationship to let you know that I don't need central government for nothing. These MPs are lousy, man. These MPs are lousy, man. Guys, these MPs are lousy, man. Listen, man, you in Fort Lauderdale all the time. You in the States all the time. You always on your internet. You could find someone to do better. You could find someone to do business with. But you would rather sit down and wait until central government tell you where to go get a fire truck. My mother's sick. You sit down and wait until the Chinese decide that maybe today we will give them some equipment. That's what you wait for. $150,000 a year. I would identify $50,000 a year for 5 years and commit that to an organization outside of my country that develops some things. and say, I want you to send this, this, and this to me on an annual basis to do this, this, and this, and you forge a relationship with them. They will always consider you. Even when that 5-year period is done, they will re-engage you and they'll give you a reduced rate because you've been committed to them. And they can depend upon X amount of dollars from you on a regular basis. You guys have no vision, man. You lack vision. You lack vision. I know that you don't want to be a politician. You just want to be popular. You just want to be identified by people. You just want somebody to say, hi, Mr. So-and-so, how you doing? That's all you want. You want that. You want somebody to say, hey, boys, thing, but you know, I've been out fishing. I get this, and I kill a cow, you know. Yeah, man, see the back part of the cow. That's what you want. You're looking for slackness. But there's no reciprocity with you. You have nothing to offer the Bahamian people. Nothing. You have no vision. You have no hope, no idea. You have nothing. You came in on the skirt tail of the political organization that you are in. That's it. You have nothing else to offer. You've done nothing in the capacity during this particular time. You've done nothing. And I don't mean no specific person. I'm just saying to you that there's so many people that come into our politics just for the hopes and aspirations, the ideas of being able to get a social recognition and a view, but they do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. And you all just vote for these people. What a sick. And when I show up, you all say, well, you know, we like you, Howard, but you got to go on a major ticket. For what? I just do more without any political organization. What the hell I need to go? Listen, if you vote for me, I guarantee you I'll bring a hotel down here. 200 rooms. If you vote for me, well, Howard, why you can't do it without that? Well, maybe I can. Maybe I am. I'm simply saying, you don't have no vision. You don't have no vision. You can't say to me, we're creating an opportunity in these particular areas and we want to be able to provide, because you can't discriminate, but you have to say we're going to be able to provide opportunities for those persons in this community first, and we'd like to be able to give that and extend that opportunity to them. We're doing this, this, and this. And right off the bat, boom! You go to the government, you look for crown land in the area, you get 10 acres of crown land to be able to do this, this, and this. You create a space to be able to do, you don't have to do 200 rooms, you do 50 rooms. Let's do 50 rooms. 200 is running out, is blown out of proportion. You do 50 rooms. You do 50 rooms. You identify some timeshare, you make some individual houses, like clapboard, like my building, right? You do it 30 by 30. You do it 40 by 30, whatever the case may be. Something nice. You set it up, boom, 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 boom. You elevate it, you put stilts on it, you make it look nice. Each one of them costs you $75,000 to build. You create a contract, you identify the people in the community, you let them people build on the contract, right? And then when you then get the whole place built out, then you go to investment. And you allow the community to invest in it. You create a community fund and let people invest in the project to have a piece of it. And all the money that you make from it, it goes back into this pot and people could be able to make money from that. You sell shares. Now you're in 8 Mile Rock, you make a beautiful place. All these things are taken care of. You got 50 rooms out here. You got timeshare. You got people out in the front there kayaking, having a great time. You got all these things going on. You got a staple. You got 50 people hired here. Now you do it again, bang. Then you do it again, bang. And you create your own institute within your constituency. See, y'all don't think, man. You create your own institute within your constituency to ensure that those people are trained how customer service works. And you develop it and you give them certification to be able to identify what they would have done and what they can do in these particular areas. You take care of them. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. So now they eating, they making money, they entertaining, they doing everything in the community. And you don't have to wait for the government to create a sunset village. You get another 10 acres. Because the government ain't giving it to you as an individual. It's giving it into this entity, whatever 8 Mile West Grand Bahama Ltd. West Grand Bahama Incorporated. And you have a board set up, and you identify the board, and you get people to swear their allegiance to this particular board, and you get certified, qualified people from the community, and you get president, vice president, treasurer, trustee, accountants, directors, so forth and so on, and money go into the board. Property go into the board, and you develop your own things. You all don't have no vision, man. You all don't have no vision. Don't have no vision, man. There's only 2 things a man can ever tell me. Yes or no. There's only 2 things he can tell me. When I come to him and say, hey man, how you doing? We got a concept and an idea. We want to be able to kind of shoot across you. We thought about you with this particular concept, and we want to kind of present it to you for this, this, and this. And we wanted an opportunity for you to be able to be one of the first persons in to be able to do this. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, man, thanks so much for considering me. I think we're going to pass. Okay, no problem. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate the time. Boom, move on. Next guy. Bam, same thing. Somebody one day or the 7 got to say yes. Somebody got to say yes. And as a member of parliament, you get in, you don't never have to put Howard in the cabinet. I'll have everybody as friends in the cabinet. Every time I have a party or this or that, the next thing I got my wife sending these people all kind of gift basket, all kind of this, and for their wives, we create a wives clubs among MPs and make sure all of these women are taken care of, and they all know that that's Howard wife do that. And when I call you as a member of parliament and a minister, and I tell you I need such and such a thing, you have no questions but to give me what I ask for. That's how you forge relationships. That's how you make things happen. You all are here begging. What the hell you begging for? These are things. You take care of the people who take care of you. You all just call that all kind of things. Bribery and this and that and all this. I don't know what y'all just call that. All I know is reciprocity, hand go, hand come. That's all I know. That's how I grow up, and I learned that in the hotel. In the hotel, they used to tell us we are not to accept tips in the hotel. However, culturally, this is what they said to us in the hotel. We are not to accept tips. However, culturally, some people are insulted when you don't take their tips. This is what human resources say to us. So, you must reject a tip 3 times before you accept this. It's in a hotel. You must reject a tip 3 times before you accept the tip. This is what I learned in a hotel. Somebody says, Howard, thank you so much for the opportunity, man. You did wonderful. I want to give you this $50. I say, no, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Howard, are you sure? This is for you. No, man. Thank you so much. Howard, please take the $50. All right. Thanks. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. And you take the $50 and you slide on. The hotel taught me. The hotel taught me that I must reject this X amount of times and then receive it on the last time. That's what they taught me. But being the Negroes that we are, we jump slick on that too. Howard, thanks so much for this service, man. I want to give you $50. Oh, no, man. Thank you. You rejected 3 times. You all running on with a bunch of stupidness. I don't know where you all live in this country, where you all come from. I don't know where you all come from. I don't know where you work. I don't know which division you ever work in. I don't know where you come from, that you, everything you see as a bribe. And I don't know where these people come from that structure themselves in such a way that you have to, they asking you for money. That don't work like that. I watched a young fella the other day, was about to give the man a ticket and run around with all kind of stupidness trying to be able to get a couple of dollars. That's, sir, no one taught you how to do this. Police officers ain't supposed to be in the tip category, man. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. That don't work like that. Not like that. You got to be a rookie. Police officers come to my place. Remember I tell you I had a restaurant in this place or whatever the case may be. And I need some people to patrol. I just say hypothetically, make sure that you're comfortable. Go here, get something to drink on your shift. Make sure that you're comfortable. I just want you to know that we're good. Listen, man, when's your birthday? I got my wife to set something up. Hey, man, thank you so much, man. Happy birthday. You don't have to do that, man. You don't have to do these things that people do. But there is a way that you can be able to show your gratitude for what is done. And that's all people want to do. They want to show you gratitude because service has fallen to such a degree that it doesn't work. Now, this is where I am in this life, in this country. This is where I am. And where I am, I recognize that I can get more done with honey than with vinegar. I could get more done, not by being able to bribe you, but to let you know that I'm always trying to incentivize you. And whether or not you identify that as being able to tweak certain language to appropriate, so it don't matter how you see that. I always accommodate people and not a nasty, well, I give you that. No, man. Hey, listen, man. Listen, I don't want to insult you. Listen, and my grandma used to do this. Hey, baby, buy yourself a cold soda. you My grandma used to I used to go with her all the time, right? So my grandma used to let people pack the bag, right? This was during a time when they actually paper or plastic, right? In the supermarket, right? There, the friendship shop instead of 8 bar, right? And so the fella's packing the bag. All right, Miss Smith. All right, Miss Merrill. All right, Miss Smith, right? And she said, here, baby. She take 50 cents. Here, baby. Buy yourself a little soda. Sodas was 50 cents. You remember that? The little soda used to be Fanta soda and other things like that. 50 cents in the bottle. She said, here, baby. Buy yourself a little soda. I learned tipping from my grandmother. This years before I got in the hotel. Anytime we go to the buffet, anytime we go to IHOP, Denny's, restaurants, wherever, with Grammy, anytime we go anywhere, she said, baby, always make sure you leave a little something on the table, eh? These people are hardworking people, and you want to show them, yeah, baby, leave something there. Now, all of a sudden, we adults, oh, this is bribery. Oh, come on, man, stop this foolishness. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all just kill me. Stop it. Tourism is our number one industry in this country. Number one. You think these people ain't come over here? My uncle asked me to take over his restaurant one time in Maroc. So I say, you want your daughter and sons to kill me? Never. I can't do that. He said, well, I need assistance trying to be able to get this, and this together to do all these things. So I said, listen, you could do it. While he was talking to me, we would stand up on the side of the road. He liked to stand up on the side of the road bareback, and his belly was big, right? Still big, right? So he stand up on the side of the road bareback, right? He said, yeah, but you got to be able to help me out with this, and this, right? So I said, Uncle, listen to me. I want you to understand something. When you ever go into the United States of America without money in your pocket? I say never. So every time you travel, you have money in your pocket, correct? He said, yes. I said, you see these tourists? 4 tourists were going to West End on scooters, 4 tourists. I said, you see these tourists right here? And they passing by, beep, beep, and they passing on the scooter. I said, their pockets are filled with money to spend, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to spend it. They don't know where to go. They don't know. They don't know what you offer. They don't know. You haven't created an environment that's appealing and appeasing to them. You're looking for local money. Local money only can sustain your business, possibly, until the people get break, and then they start eating noodles and white rice home. They ain't want no crack conch and this and that no more. I say you have to create an avenue, an environment to be able to get some external money. You all keep catering business to people who ain't got no money. The only business in this country that is thriving from people who ain't got no money is numbers. That's it. The numbers business is thriving from people saying, put 10 cents on that, man. Jesus Christ, I can see if I can make something. Put 20 cents on that. My God, put $2.50 on that. Right there. They got one paper long as from here to Aruba. One long paper. They love it. Yeah, man. Paper roll out. Yeah, man. See all the numbers I play today? I box this. I box that one. Long paper. You're looking at 50 cents on these numbers. And they hope to God they hit one little something. It's the only business in this country that can make money from poor people. It's numbers. As soon as you ain't got no money, you can't eat at the restaurant no more. You got to eat noodles. You got to eat sausage. You got to eat corned beef. You got to eat white rice. You can't even afford leg quarters. And not only $1 something a pound. Because you ain't got nothing to cook it on. You got to go buy propane. You're eating crackers. I tell my uncle, you cannot create a business and be able to attract these particular type of people who don't have the finances. They don't have the finances. You're creating your entire business off of a local economy in an environment where you know these people don't have money. What is your expectation? He knows when he was making good money, everybody was making money in Grand Bahama. He had one boat called Jesus Saves. He used to be in Moose Island all the time. Him and my aunt, them, and my cousins. Never take me on the boat yet. You think I forget that, eh? But I don't think my mom is going to let me go no how. But anyway, praise God. When things were high in Grand Bahama and everyone were making money well, everyone did well. I can't lie to you. Everyone did well. Everyone did well. When we were at a good place in Grand Bahama and people were making some good money, everyone did well. Everyone did well. If you wanted to do well, you're going to be okay. Everyone did well. But when things got bad, listen, man. I mean, it got bad. It got bad. And it felt like it got bad quick. We as Grand Bahamians used to enjoy this sort of a concept of being able to just jump on a ship on the weekend, right? And go over Thursday and come back on Sunday. You just go on a ship on Thursday, you spend Friday, Saturday in the States, and you come back Sunday. You do a little shopping, you get one bin, you do all these particular things. People say, Child, I can't make it this week. Go see if you buy this, put this on the bin for me. The bin used to cost like $125 for the bin. Big bin, you put everything in that bin. That bin was humongous. But 8 foot high, 8 foot wide bin. Six foot wide bin. I think it was 6 by 6. I look at the measurements as I talk. Just thinking about it. 6 by 6 bin. You all need Obi Wilchcombe to come back to revive concepts and ideas. Obi Wilchcombe didn't wait on the PLP to do anything for him. Obi Wilchcombe didn't wait on the PLP. This is why he was bigger than life. He didn't wait on the PLP to do anything for him. He got up and he made it happen. He forged relationships with his friends, Mike Mizik. He forged relationships with his friend around the world. Obi was a globetrotter and a jet setter all over. And he never go into these particular places without being able to identify the capability that these people had in these spaces and saying, hey, listen, bring something this way. Or listen, bring something this way. My only argument with Obi is that he did so much and he drove it back to the PLP. He didn't drag it to West Grand Bahama. He bring it again to West Grand Bahama, bring Sunjet, Sunjet, was Sunjet or Funjet, one or the other, right? To West Grand Bahama, the glass company they were supposed to be able to do something. There's some things that only kicked off in Grand Bahama when Obi was in. When he left, that was it. The relationship was contingent upon Obi. You think my cousin Kingsley tried to be able to revive those relationships? I don't know. I don't know. It's the first thing I would do. That's the first thing I would do. What would you have done, Howard? Okay, we can send this man all kind of little flowers and this and that and all these things. Thank you for your commitment to these particular years. We know that Obi Wilscombe is no longer here with us, and we know that you had a fond relationship. And we're hoping that relationship could be extended to the community, not just the relationship with Obi, because Obi will forever live in this community. We'd like to be able to introduce you and invite you to the ribbon cutting ceremony for a space, a memorial that we've identified in 8 Mile Rock for Obadiah Wilscombe. You ain't got no memorial, but you figure it out. You say, oh my God, I'll accept. All right. You call somebody, clear down this piece of property, make this, do that. Call some artists in your area, make this big mural, do this, boom, 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 boom. Bring the people down. You needed to see the people face to face. So you bring them down, you do all these things, you tell the Prime Minister, come down, we cut this, Obadiah Wilscombe, we all find a way to do this. We make one big wreath, we put it on there, let it slide out in the water right there on the southern side, on the northern side. On the southern side, and we thank Obi Wilscombe for all he's done. Find some people to say some stuff. We introduce whoever these people is, from Sunjet and again Sumar and so forth and so on, to say some things about Obi Wilscombe. And afterward, we come to them and say, I want to thank you so much for being able to come. This is Howard Grant. This is how I would do it. I want to thank you so much for being able to be here. I know that you were working on a project, and it seems like these projects kind of to live and die with Obi Wilscombe in his political life. Since he's no longer with us, there's still a great deal of things that needs to be happening in this community. I'd love to talk to you about it if you're interested. Boom. Yeah, man, Howard, no problem. Listen, you don't have to, I can come to you if you want. I know that you are in Spring City, Colorado. I'll be more than happy to come up with you with my small contingent, 1 or 2 persons, and let's sit down and talk about how we can make this work. All right, Howard, no problem. Boom. You crafted a plan, you identify these things, you see a SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, your threats. You talked about the prospects that you have. You talked about the tangible things that you'd be able to have assets to. You talked about these things, how long it can take me to be able to get a piece of crown land, bam, bam, bam. You didn't know all these things before you go anywhere. And you go to Colorado, you sit down with them, you talk about these things, bang. You set up an LTD. The man put money into the LTD. You ain't put money in my pocket. You ain't put money in my hand. For the purposes of transparency, he could see it, I could see it, everyone could see it, the community could see it. You made the community a partner with you. You're all so lousy. Mother's sick. You're all so lousy. I didn't have to go to Harvard for that. I'm in the Yale. I'm been to Princeton. I'm been to MIT. I'm been to nothing. I only been to 8 Mile Rock High. And then I gone to college in the Bahamas. I've been off to Cuba, and I've been around enough of these people and listened to enough things. Y'all don't even learn from the movies you watching. This is only business. This is how business is done in the world. And you sitting down here waiting on your politician to give you something. Mother sick. They couldn't tell me nothing in North Eleuthera. They couldn't tell me nothing in South Eleuthera if I was there. They couldn't tell me nothing in Exuma. This is where people want to be. Just they didn't have to have the whole SpaceX there. But you see his train of thought. You see his plans. You see the concepts and ideas associated with these particular things. You see his trajectory. You see what he wants to do. My cow? Oi. Make one, huh? Oi. You know how much things I will do? You have no idea. You have no idea. And I sit down with my cabinet colleagues. Well, they don't have to be my colleagues. I can sit down with my parliamentary colleagues who are cabinet ministers. I don't have to be in the cabinet. and talk about these particular prospects and whatnot. They can say, they can look for something for themselves because they want recognition in the project. They want these particular things. They want to know of any money because they want to see whether or not I'm tainted and all these particular things like that. Money involved. It's getting through this particular entity. This is what is going to be able to happen. We can do this within 18 to 36 months. We believe that this is a viable project. It'll be able to bring 150 jobs in the community, in the constituency. And we believe that the spin-off from here could be able to create another 250 jobs in this area, and this area, and this area. And we want your support. All right, Howard. Boom. Done. Done. Simple. No complexity to it. No big deal. Simple. 350 people get jobs in my constituency, and the people who are coming in, who are building this and building that, we get them create a fund. Every year we have them put $50,000 into this particular fund. That is an education fund. Everybody who gets over 3.2, let's do that. 3.2 in our constituency, in our community, gets a prospect and an idea of being able to go to college. It doesn't necessarily have to be an external college, but it could be a local college. And after we would have done that, we go to those colleges and start to have a conversation about affiliation. We want technical development in our community. We want this, and we want a cross-country, across community building system where we want to create a space that annually you could send 15 of your persons down, and in the summer you could be able to have your summer courses in the Bahamas. Why your dudes don't think? You go to China, you spend $150,000, $200,000, you clear down a piece of property, you make all kind of tin building, you outfit the tin building accordingly, you make it nice, you let the people stay right in them 50 rooms that you build up, and now every summer, people from wherever coming down for summer classes in the Bahamas. What a sick, man. Y'all just make me so tired. Y'all don't even think, man. You catering to a market that don't have no money. How are you going to get money here? You got to create an environment that these people do it. Ted Bundy told you. And I ain't talking about Ted Bundy the killer. I'm talking about Al Bundy's son. If you build it, they will come. You remember you never used to watch Love and Marriage? I'm Married with Children. Never watch it. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. They don't know to come because you haven't built anything. You got to build an environment where people could be able to do this. Clear down a piece of property. Go to China. Get all these particular things. Build your warehouse. These dudes build a warehouse in 10 days. Have them send it over in these particular things. Get concessions from the government. Ensure that you do this. Show that we're going to be able to build this. Howard, what you're going to do in the offset, on the off season? In the off season, we're going to do this, this, and this. Howard, what you going to do with the property? Well, the property is going to be a multi-purpose property. I'm giving you all too much information, man. Mother flip. I can't deal with this. I'm giving you too much information. I'm giving you too much information. The property is going to be a multi-purpose property. What's going to be in the property, Howard? Well, part of the property is going to be for educational warehouses. Part of the property is going to be for educational workshops. Every summer, we allow these particular persons to be able to come down, and we have a crossing of that, right? And we also forge a relationship with the Miami Dolphins and the, Florida University. Let's say Florida University football team to be able to come down and they do their training right here on campus. What? Yeah. We get the ships coming in right in. We get a boat that goes in there. It leaves from Port Everglades. Everybody jumps on the boat and we bring them over, have them, the buffets and everything on the boat. They have them come over right there. We port right in West Grand Bahama and West End. And they come right out in this area right here. We let them stay. And we be able to do this. And they stay here. How long do they stay? It's about a 4-week training course. We do 2 waves. So we do Miami Dolphins, then we do Florida State University. And this is what we do. And we do that, and we sign a contract with them, and we're going to do that for the next 5 years. That's what we do. And you have the facility outfitted. And then from an educational standpoint, you have people coming in and doing those particular things. And then you create a space with another 25 acres and being able to create, listen, I'm giving you all the game, man. And the only reason I can't do this is because I ain't in position. I just saying I ain't in a position. I'm in a position to acquire these things. It costs a lot. It costs a lot. That's the only thing I would want to be in politics for, is to be able to get close to people who could be able to, by the stroke of a pen, get some things done for me. Because I didn't ask you for a dime. I don't need money to do this. You don't need money to do these things. You can just get it done. I need this piece of property, and the property is only by a signature. Once the Prime Minister can be able to sign their signature, who is the head of Lands and Survey, and be able to identify the Crown land, and be able to sign it over to this entity for 99 years at $1 a year, and being able to show the transparency. Howard is not going to be sitting as the chairman of this particular organization. All we're doing is identify the capable people who can do it. And I don't want no people around me talking about, oh, Howard, you think that could work? Listen, you need to leave. Get out of here, eh? Go home. Well, nobody never do that before. Get out of here. When you see it working, then come back. Simple, man. Let's just do it. You got people sitting down waiting months, years, because central government didn't do this. I've been waiting on the government because the government, what are you talking about? Well, the government need to be able to identify these particular things. We really wanted to be able to put lights down the road going to West Grand Bahama. We really wanted to do these things. Well, why you didn't do it yet? I really wanted to be able to get those lights going up to North Abaco, but we were unable to do it because the government of the Bahamas, there's a financial crunch, so we are unable to do it right now. Why you ain't do it yet? Why you ain't get some solar lights? Why you ain't get some solar lights? Why you don't identify the solar lights in China, and you say that you need 5,000 solar lights in China? And they say, okay, we'll because you getting bulk, we'll charge you $10 per light. And if you pay $15, we could have 2 technicians come in and install it for you over the course of 4 weeks. That's what China can do. You could do that. Once you could be able to provide a bucket truck and boom, 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 we could get that done for you. All right, no problem. Boom. Come to find out you only need 1,500. So you sell it to another constituency. I don't know what you all doing. 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 I don't know what y'all doing. You're sitting down here waiting for somebody to give you something. You like a bird waiting for somebody to chew something and spit it in your mouth. What are you doing? And then you want us to vote for people who don't even have this kind of a vision. I only talking about West Grand Bahama. You could tell that this is all I've been thinking about my whole life. How do I help my people in West Grand Bahama? That's all I've been thinking about. My whole life is preparation to assist. That's all I've been doing from a child. From a child. You only believe me. From I was a little boy, I've been thinking about how I develop my community. What can I do to develop my community? From I was a little boy. From I was in the bushes in 8 Mile Rock, I thought about how I could develop my community. These dudes who don't even live in Grand Bahama get ratified for areas that you don't even know. You don't know them. They don't even live in the constituency. They don't even live on the island sometimes. And ratified for a particular constituency because they meet certain qualifications within an organization. That is bananas. Bananas. They don't bring no vision to the forefront. They don't have nothing to do in terms of being able to talk about what can happen going forward. All they do is being able to find out, how do I keep my nasty information from leaking on the internet? That's it. We got to do better than that. We have to do better than that. We have to do better than that. This is fair enough. You are right. We do have a lot of U.S. influence. I mentioned it to someone like consecutive president was Obama in 2012. Every election since they have went back and forth between the two parties. There's only two parties for you to be able to go through, right? Let's look for another text, 827-0111, if you want to be able to text, 827-0111, and you can be able to find out more information about that. Let's see exactly what's what. We're seeing a lot of things happening right now, and I got to commend them, man. I mean, I see the politicians are trying to use social media like how y'all see ministers doing it, and trying to be able to get for kicks and giggles, right? Oh, wow. A 49-year-old died at the airport industrial park after complications involving a forklift around 11 a.m. today. Let me see if I can play the story. A 49-year-old man dies after forklift complications. 49-year-old man dies. They are putting him in the thing right now. That's sad to hear. In the Tribune today, you can be able to see a day ago they had a story. They ain't coming in my yard. The FNM veteran slams Rick Fox pick. The Free National Movement been able to talk about that. Let's talk about this. Let's read a little taste of it and see exactly what's what. Let's open it up. This is from the Tribune a day ago. Let's see if we can be able to read it and see exactly what's what. The Free National Movement decision to ratify Rick Fox as the Garden Hills candidate has triggered sharp internal backlash from some, including a former constituency chairman. Let me open this up a little bigger. Accusing the party's leadership of driving it into decline and sidelining loyal members. Ricardo Roll, a longtime Garden Hills resident and former association president, said that the party had made a grave mistake by backing Mr. Fox whilst denying the nomination to former MPs, including Dr. Hubert Minnis and Renwood Wells. Mr. Roll, who served 9 years as the association's president under the Ingram administration, said that the move had left many supporters disillusioned and disengaged. This is the worst the FNM has ever been run. This is what Mr. Rowe says to the Tribune. The Tribune, as he criticized the party's leadership and Mr. Fox's candidacy. He says, I tell you one thing, they ain't coming in my yard. That's what he says. He says his remarks come amid mixed reactions within the party following the ratification of Fox, a former NBA star who recently said that this year's general election will mark the first time he has ever voted in the Bahamas. The Tribune previously reported that the decision surprised some FNM supporters, as longtime aspirant D'Angelo Ferguson has been widely viewed as the frontrunner after months of campaigning. Mr. Rolls said nominating someone he described as a stranger to the party rather than established figures such as Dr. Minnis was deeply troubling. You know nothing about Rick Fox, is what he says. He says you only know about Rick Fox, what in the NBA. That's it. And now you can come talk about you gonna run. And if you ask Rick Fox right now where Garden Hill start and where it end, he can tell you. Jesus. Oh, right. Rick Fox is leading the. I think we've already kind of elaborated on that ad nauseum, and really been able to get into a position to talk about what our expectations are and why the Free National Movement has really gone against some of the things that they indicated that they stand for. And like I said, I don't think that this is. I think that this is an establishment, a pursuit of being able to reestablish the organization. That's what I believe this is. I believe that this is the reestablishment of the Free National Movement. That's what it is. And I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think that this is a horrible idea. this reestablishment of the Free National Movement. I don't think it's a horrible idea. Social services social services delays stall criminal record expungement after only 45 Bahamians had their criminal records expunged last year after applying to the Rehabilitation and Offenders Committee. A figure officials say could have been higher if not for the delays in obtaining critical reports from the Department of Social Service. Okay, that's one of the information that's coming through. Guys, make sure you pick up your newspaper and see exactly what's what. There's a lot of groundbreaking and some things happening. Breaking news, Chris Ferguson has been sentenced to 40 years in prison for the murder of Adriel Moxie, along with 15 years for the unlawful sexual intercourse. Oh, that's sick. This to do it. Oh, man. Along with 15 years for the unlawful sexual intercourse and 1 year for unlawful detainment with intent to have sexual intercourse. The court ordered that all sentences run concurrently, meaning that Ferguson will serve the time at the same time rather than consecutively. So it's baked into the 40 years instead of 40 plus 15 plus 1, which will be 56. So it'll be 40 years, but all those things will be run concurrently. So it'll be in one, right? Unless it would have been non-consecutive years, right? So it says that he was also credited with a 13-month already. So essentially he's been credited with two years, because essentially it's like 8 years, 8 months is a year, roughly, in our system, right? Let me see if they say something. They're not saying anything on these stories, man, right? 6-year-old goddaughter inspector. Let's see if we can be able to find some stuff on here. Pick it up. Prime Minister Philip Davis emphasized that the significant monthly bills of the Grand Bahama Power Company that the consumers encounter on a monthly basis as he presented the argument for transitioning from Grand Bahama Power Company to the Bahamas Power and Light, BPL. He said the 6-year-old granddaughter of the Reserve Inspector Lennox William, who was killed on Father's Day. This is information out there. The man accused of raping and strangling a 12-year-old Adriel Moxie. Yeah, that's him right there. You get 40 years. The thing went off this morning. Saria Roll, a 17-year-old from Excellent Estates. If your telephone went off, you can be able to see that. Saria Roll, 17-year-old from Excellent Estates, and also a 15-year-old, Brunel Brown, was last seen at home on Tuesday night in those particular areas. It just went off today. Prime Minister Philip Reeve Davis hit back at the Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard for criticisms of developments on Grand Bahama and hinted at a major announcement for the island today. His comments came during the PLP's ratification rally in Grand Bahama last night. So 2 men were shot in Balls Island. You can be able to see that. Pick up your papers. $52 million San Salvador Road Marina Improvements Project begins. Yeah, sounds good to me. Free National Movement F&M leader Michael Pintard said yesterday that former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis's decision to run as an independent candidate in Killarney is unwise and regrettable and will put his legacy in jeopardy. Nah, I disagree with you. There's nothing else y'all could do to Dr. Minnis. You already didn't beat him. You didn't spit on him. You didn't mess on him. You called it peanut butter while you was messing on him. And let him know. And all this is by design because of what he would have done, allegedly, presumably, but what we've been able to see from a political standpoint. All of this is peculiar. And I think that y'all need to let him go. Some people call me and say, Howard, you need to let the Free National Movement go. Don't talk with them no more and just let it go. I accept what they're saying. I don't agree with it, but I accept what they're saying. But the Free National Movement, especially its leadership, recognizes and needs to recognize that you should leave Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis alone. Now, he will mess up the chances for Michaela Barnett to be able to receive the victory that she's looking for in the constituency of Kalani. That will happen. He will. He will. There's going to be a lot of old fellas walking on the road in Kalani trying to be able to get Michaela in. I can tell you that. They can't even walk on the road. They got to get some golf carts. But they're going to be up and down in the constituency of Kalani. They're going to be having rallies in Kalani. They're going to be bringing out people in Kalani. They're going to be able to make public service announcements to touch those people in Kalani, let people know exactly who is who and what is what. They're going to design that strategically that she can be able to get in there. But between Dr. Minnis and now Robin Lyons, she's going to have a difficult time. If she comes up with a victory, my God, it'll be mind-blowing. It ain't impossible. It's improbable, but it ain't impossible. If she comes up with a victory, it will be mind-blowing. But that victory doesn't just happen by being able to, cross all your fingers and close your eyes tight and say, please, 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 please. That don't work like that. You got to work for that. And I don't know whether or not she could outwork Dr. Minnis and outwork Robin Lyons. In fact, if I'm looking at this, if Dr. Minnis is not 100% successful, this is how I view this, and I got a couple more minutes before we get out of here. If Robin Lyons, watch me. This is just my calculation. Dr. Minnis is coming in at 1,000 votes. This is what I believe, and I keep saying this. All right, he got 2,500 votes last time. This time, he's going to cut that by 1,500. Okay? Dr. Minnis gets 1,000 votes out the gate. It's 1,000 people in the constituency that's going to walk up, and I say that. That's just we talking. Okay? There's 1,000 people who's going to walk up to the constituency and walk up to the polls and say, I'm going to vote for Dr. Minnis. It's 1,000 people. Dr. Minnis get 1,000 votes. There's 1,500 people who are going to walk up the polls and say, no matter left, right, or straight, either F and M, I'm voting for Michaela. 1,500 people. It's 1,500 to 1,800 people. I can give her on the high end. Let's go 1,800 people. Because last time, Ronnie Duncan was able to capture 1,946 votes. But let's do this. Let's say Robin Lyons, she gets 1,800 votes. 1,800 votes. And then Dr. MacGyver gets about 600 votes. Let's go 500 votes. Let's go 500 votes. All right? For Minnis to win this, Minnis has to get over the threshold 1,500 votes. He has to work for 1,500 people additional to whatever that base is that's going to come and support him. He has to work for 1,500 people additional to vote for him. For Michaela, she has to be able to convince 1,000 people outside of her base to vote for her. 1,000 people outside of her base to vote for her. For Robin Lyons, outside of her base, she's going to have to convince 400 people to vote for her. Outside of Robin Lyons' base, she's going to have, because the PLP has a base that's not split in the constituency. The base is not split. The PLP has a base in the constituency of Kalani that is not split, that she could convince to be able to vote for her or retain this vote. She's energetic, she's articulate, she's insightful, she's quite capable. She can do it. And in the midst of being able to do that, she could capture 2,400 votes. 2,400 votes. Let's talk now. And beyond that, for Dr. MacGyver to win, she got to get over 2,200 votes. She got to convince an additional 2,200 people, the more likely candidate. I don't know why they say that, but anyway, we'll figure it out, right? The more likely candidate in these particular areas that can be able to capture a vote is Robin Light. It's unfortunate that a lot of persons don't necessarily understand and see it like that. They just pray into the political gods that these things happen. But these things don't just happen. They don't just happen. Let's be clear. Guys, it was a good talk today. I hope that you understand, and I hope that these politicians who listen or didn't listen or should listen understands that there are ways that you can be able to get some things done. That's what we're walking away with. There are ways that you can get things done that you don't have to relentlessly depend upon central government. You have to come up with a vision. You have to come up with a plan. You have to be able to understand that every business needs to stand on its own. Every constituency needs to be able to stand on its own, and you can do that. There are enough resources globally in a place that the entire world wants to come to be able to find its space for growth and development in these areas. These things can happen. We can make it happen. We would love to see you to be able to be a part of something greater and give vision to the community and create opportunities that persons could be able to not work for you, but work for the community, and identify those persons who are capable, especially those persons from your community that are capable, that can make some things happen, but they didn't have the right opportunity. You're looking at the wrong things. You're looking at who's a FNM or who's a PLP. You got to look at talent. You got to look at skill, and you got to let them buy into your vision. That's what people is get transformed for. People they are affiliated with a political organization, but you have to make them become disciples of a vision. You have to make them become baptized in a concept and an idea. You have to let them see it. You have to let Habakkuk 2 and 2 write the vision, make it plain, that when men see it, that they would run with it. You have to let it come to life. And you can't do that being casual. You can't do that as an aspirant, as a ratified candidate, with the expectation that the answers would come from central government, that come from your organization. You got to be better than that. And you got to do better than that. That's the show today, guys. I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to tune in with us. I'm going to see you tomorrow, God's Spirit Our Life. And I want you to be able to do well, man. Make some things happen. See you tomorrow, God's Spirit Our Life, right here on The Foundation.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.
was on the show. I just finished.